Of course, it finished earlier this morning in the Women's World Cup opener in Auckland. It finished New Zealand 1, Norway 0, and New Zealand have won their first ever game at a Women's World Cup. Such an astonishing achievement for the New Zealand women's national team. And of course, it's a good day for women's football, as I think today's attendance at the New Zealand game was the highest ever in Women's World Cup history. And this is what we love. It shows that women's football is on the rise and more people are getting into women's football, which is fantastic to see. But yeah, also I do apologise about my throat and my nose got cold. But yeah, anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. And to be honest, fair play to New Zealand, because to be honest, I think New Zealand definitely deserved it. I watched the first half an hour of the game, as the game was an 8 a.m. kickoff here in the UK. And of course, I left my house about 20 past. And then of course, whilst I was walking to school, I had the game on. And to be fair, New Zealand looked brilliant. And then I watched the highlights I watched the highlights during at school today. As you know, we weren't really doing anything. We were just literally watching films all day. And of course, I actually break up for school tomorrow for the 6 weeks. Oh, my ear flipping out. But yeah, and to be fair, New Zealand, they deserve to win that game. In the bit I watched, I'm looking at the highlights. New Zealand looked absolutely brilliant. You know, they really deserve to win, and it's just a fantastic moment for the country. For them to record their first win ever at the World Cup is fantastic for them. And of course, there was a minute's silence in both games. And of course, I'll do a reaction to Australia after this. But of course, something really bad happened last night here in the UK, and then this morning in New Zealand. Apparently, there was an attack apparently 2 miles away from Eden Park, and there was loads of questions about if the game was gonna continue, or if the game was gonna be on, and it was on. So of course, my thoughts and prayers go out to the victims of that attack this morning in Auckland, New Zealand. But yeah, but to be honest, like I've said a lot of times already, New Zealand deserved it. They absolutely played fantastic. The goal was really good as well. I think some player played I think apparently it was from a goal kick, played someone down the line. The player, she made a fantastic through ball down the line to I can't remember her name, and then she crossed it in to, hold on. Let me go on my iPad. Let me see. I think I've got a form up on my iPad. Let me check. And I can't remember who scored. It needs updating. I'll do that later. But yeah, I can't remember who scored. But to be honest, it was such a really good goal for New Zealand. And on the Norway point of view, hold on, my ear's getting a bit funny. From a New Zealand point of view, not from New Zealand, sorry, on the Norway point of view, I thought they were shocking. I thought Norway were absolutely appalling, especially their defence. In the first half an hour of the game, their defence was like watching, it was like having a defence of David Luiz, Eric Dyer, Davinson Sanchez and Harry Maguire. It was that bad. Literally, every time New Zealand, they just walked through Norway's defence. And honestly, they have worsened so much. The last time I watched them was when England beat them 8-0 in the Euros last summer. Honestly, they were so bad. And Norway had a few chances, but not many. And it was a really poor start for Norway, to be honest. And Norway, their next game is against Switzerland, I think. So they probably need to turn up in that one, because I think Norway, looking at the squad that they have, of course they have won this tournament before in 1995. I think Norway won it, and then looking at the team of Norway, the squad they have, I think Norway probably should be going through, but not the best start for them. And they really need to win their next game, which I think is against Switzerland. But, you know, and honestly, just the scenes at full time at Eden Park, you know, the fans, you know, the fans were cheering, they were screaming, the players, the subs, all the coaching staff were running on the pitch. It was like New Zealand won the whole thing. And it means so, just for them, it means so much for New Zealand to win their first game. It means so much for them. And, you know, they've got Philippines next, so you never know. Can New Zealand make it 2 from 2? And also, you never know, can New Zealand be the dark horses? Because they actually weren't too bad today. And we'll have to see how they play in their next game against the Philippines. And then their final group stage game, which is against Switzerland. But, you know, anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. Smash like, subscribe. And I'll see you in the next full-time reaction in this World Cup.